Good evening and welcome back towards basically bedtime. Figured throw in this video just because I can in the video. Seen some dark. I mentioned Darkling. God, it didn't do anything. Nothing. I did see a full moon though. Oh, actually, almost full moon. I think the full moon is Thursday. I had to look at the calendar. Yeah, full moon Thursday. Of course, the full moon always looks nice. But yeah. So we ended up having nothing out of something. Something out of nothing. Actually, it's nothing out of something this time. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed though because I figured we'd have something and fizzled out. Fizzled out. 10 games done in baseball, and that's it. I think this time next week is going to be likely early to bed because I think I mentioned All-Star break. Kind of love an All-Star break. Sometimes All-Star breaks actually help. A few days just without games is like, good, I don't have to do anything for a few days. That baseball for like 4 days is like, okay, fine. I can just ignore the All-Star game. Well, I do that with the NHL too. Although this year was this past season had the Four Nations Cup. Thought I'd blow that off, and it turned out to be a pretty decent tournament. And the right team won. At least I think the right team won. So, yeah. Might be a little biased though, but yeah. Here we are talking hockey, and it's July. I guess a week into the free agent frenzy. Of course, it usually dies off after a couple, 3 days. As it usually does. Because. Blue Jays actually won their 9th game in a row today. Yep. Playing the White Sox. Last month they lost 2 out of 3 against those same White Sox, which apparently was the last time they lost the series. Weird. So beat them tomorrow or Friday to take another series. We'll see how that goes. I think they play the Athletics. I was gonna say Oakland, but right now they're the Athletics until they're into their new ballpark in Vegas for 2028. At least that's the plan. So call them the Sacramento A's, because that's actually where they're playing, Sacramento. But I'm a butthead like that sometimes. CFL has no All-Star game. The NFL has a Pro Bowl, but they put that in between the conference championship games and the Super Bowl. At least for the players who's not playing in the Super Bowl. If you're in the Super Bowl and you were voted in, well, apparently you don't have to go. Because for the longest time, I always had the Pro Bowl after the season ended. That was a long time ago. But yeah, that's about. I don't remember. I didn't mention it. I don't remember any other leagues having an All-Star game. Well, I do, but I just ignore it because it's not relevant to me. But some of the logos they have is like the Vancouver Grizzlies. Yes, and the Seattle Supersonics, the last one the Sonics had before they moved to Oklahoma City. That was a good one. Those were good ones. The Sonics and the Grizzlies. Yeah. Anyways, I'm starting to drift, so it's about time to go to bed. So in the meantime and in between time, stay tuned for the next one.